Salutations, crustaceans! I'm Lobster, and today we are finally reviewing the original Fender Aerodyne PJ bass. Let's check it out. This is the Fender Aerodyne Jazz Bass, the original Aerodyne. These have been produced from the, I believe, early to or mid-2000s, all the way up until recently, where this particular model has been discontinued, though is still available new at certain retailers. Don't worry though, the Aerodyne line is safe, and there is a whole new lineup of Aerodyne basses, including Aerodyne Ps, Aerodyne Js, all sorts of crazy finishes. However, this particular all blacked out Aerodyne PJ with the smoked hardware is no more, from what I understand, and has been discontinued. But now let's talk about this Aerodyne jazz bass in a bit more detail and go over the specs. The body is made of basswood, and it is finished in a beautiful gloss black. Absolute fingerprint magnet, but it is gorgeous, especially when it's clean. We also have a cream binding going all the way around the body. For pickups, we have a Fender split coil P pickup and a Fender single coil jazz pickup. And 3 controls with these smoked chrome knobs. We have 2 volume controls, 1 for each pickup, and a master tone control. It also appears that the jazz bass pickup is in the 60s position. Correct me if I'm wrong. For the bridge, we have a smoked chrome Fender style, regular style bent steel bridge. There's nothing really special about this bridge other than the finish, and that finish is mirrored in the tuners, which are also a smoked chrome, adding to the whole blacked out look. Moving on to the neck, this is where things get pretty interesting as well, as this is a 20 fret, 34-inch scale maple on rosewood neck with a 38mm nut width and a 7¼ radius, a vintage radius on this fingerboard. And then moving up to the headstock, we have a black painted headstock facing as well as a white Fender logo, and we also see the smoked tuners and the smoked string tree. Now let's go ahead and turn this bass around. Around back, we see a whole lot of nothing other than the very small control cavity. There's not really a lot of room for activities here, so you're pretty much stuck to a passive setup unless you want to route additional space. For the rest of the back of the body, you see the blacked out finish, as well as the smoked chrome neck plate here. And then moving up to the neck, we have a jazz bass profile and a skunk stripe on this maple neck. And then up at the headstock, we have the smoked Fender tuners. Now, how much does the Fender Aerodyne jazz bass weigh? These were produced to be lightweight instruments, and lightweight they are, with this one coming in at 8.5 pounds. Very lightweight for a Fender-style instrument. I would attribute that to the basswood body as well as the contours, which make for a smaller body overall. But how will that impact balance? Let's find out. In the lap, as is typical for most jazz basses, you do have a bit of neck dive, especially with these large, heavy Fender tuners here. The light body definitely doesn't help either, so in the lap with no strap, you do have neck dive. Now, let's pop on our strap. Sitting down, it's not really engaging the strap until a certain point, but at that point, we're really not getting much dive, and I'm not really fighting the neck at all. And then standing up, I have no issues with balance. This is perfectly balanced on a strap while you're standing. And how much does the Fender Aerodyne jazz bass cost? I believe when I just looked it up right now, these are going for around $900. I'm not sure if they're just trying to sell out the remaining stock, but I believe at like Guitar Center and Musician's Friend, these are going for around $894. And that is a pretty good price for a made-in-Japan Fender instrument. But now, I know you're all wondering, what does this bass sound like? You all know what you need to do. Go ahead and hit that like button so my hand will turn back to normal. Thanks. I also forgot to mention the Strat-style jack plate here, which is very abnormal for a jazz bass, but you have it here in the Fender Aerodyne jazz bass from Fender Japan. So that is the Fender Aerodyne PJ Jazz Bass here, the original Aerodyne. I've always wanted to get one of these down here and review one, and I am very glad I did. Big thank you to viewer Chris for sending me over this bass to review, by the way. Thanks, Chris. This is a very nice PJ sounding setup here. And what you've heard is with everything 100% open. We have the tone open and both volume controls at 100%, engaging the P pickup as well as our single coil J. In a noisy electrical environment like a bar or somewhere with a lot of lights and computers, you may get some single coil hum here, but the Fender Japan instruments are generally well shielded and well set up to prevent excessive noise. Let's go ahead and solo our P pickup first and check that out individually. Here's what that sounds like, tone at 100%. I am noticing a little bit of noise when you're not touching the strings, but it is not excessive here. Next, let's go ahead and take our tone down to about 50% now. Very nice sounding P pickup here. And here's the tone all the way down. That wasn't as good as the other ones, but that is with the tone all the way down on the P pickup. Let's turn the tone back up and turn the P pickup down as we are going to solo our single coil J pickup now. So again, some slight hum because this is a single coil pickup in a noisy environment, but it is what it is. Here's what the J pickup sounds like soloed with the tone at 100%. Next, let's take the tone down to about 50%. And here's the tone all the way down. Very nice. Let's take the tone back up and bring our P pickup back into the mix, having both pickups on at 100%. Here's what that sounds like, tone fully open. Very nice. Now let's take the tone down to about 50%. And here's the tone all the way down. Okay, very nice indeed. Now let's go ahead and grab our pick, have both pickups engaged, and see what this bass sounds like with a pick. And next, let's solo our P pickup and do that once more. Very nice. I'm gonna put the pick away. Now let's go ahead and see how this bass sounds like with a little bit of slap. We'll keep the P pickup soloed. Here's what that sounds like. Oh yeah, that is a nice sounding P pickup here. Now let's bring the J back into the mix and hear what this sounds like, slapped with both pickups engaged. Oh yeah, this has some bite to it and some growl for sure. Now finally, let's go ahead and throw some drums behind this bass. So here are my final thoughts on the Fender Aerodyne PJ Jazz Bass, the original Aerodyne. Wow, what a bass from Fender Japan. It is punchy and aggressive, just like the Boxer series PJ that we recently reviewed, also from Fender Japan. I do love this glossy black finish, but I do think it is very much a fingerprint magnet, and if you have one of these basses, you'll definitely need to keep some cloth sandy to make sure that it is fingerprint free. Otherwise, it just looks like a smudge fest. But regardless, it is a beautiful looking bass for sure, and we are definitely going to be having some more fun with it in the near future, so keep an eye out for that. I'll talk more about that at the end of the video. But on to my thoughts on this bass. I think it is very comfortable with its contoured body, it plays very well, it's decently balanced, and it is priced well, though it doesn't really come with a case or any additional accessories. At around $900 currently for a brand new Fender branded Japanese bass, this is a high quality instrument, especially when a lot of Fender Mexican instruments with usually inferior quality control and features are coming in at over $1,000. So get these while you can, because I'm not sure how much longer the sub $1,000 Aerodyne bass is going to be around for. So what am I going to rate the Fender Aerodyne Jazz Bass? I'm going to rate this bass 4 claws out of 5. This is a very good instrument for sure, and an excellent value for a Fender. Some things I'd personally like to see improved are the relocation of the truss rod adjustment to the body side and have a large enough cavity to use a conventional Allen wrench versus having it at the headstock. But that being said, it is actually not the worst implementation up there and works very well and is pretty easy to access. On top of that, some lighter tuners to combat the neck dive, at least when playing in the lap. Even with a strap, you do get a little bit of tug on the strap. That being said, when you're standing with this bass, it's not really something that's super noticeable, but a set of lighter weight tuners would definitely improve the experience a little bit. But that is my review of the Fender Aerodyne PJ Jazz Bass that we have here from Fender Japan, the original Aerodyne. What an awesome bass. I absolutely love it, and let me know what you think about this Fender Aerodyne Jazz Bass down in the comments below. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to like, subscribe, join our Discord channel, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the Fender Aerodyne Jazz Bass. And as always, until we groove again,